Alrighty, everybody's favorite time again, filter cleaning. Today I have, cat hair on this, I have my Fluval 306, I actually have two of them. One right here ready to go and the other one back here. So let's clean this thing up. Basics of things you're going to need to do this are an area to clean it. I prefer the tub because the tub is very easily cleanable, and hot water and everything I need right here. You will need replacement polishing pads. I have a pack of 50, which is much cheaper than the 4 or 6 packs that they have at the pet stores, because those are like $10 for those, and this one was about 20 for 50. So for each one of the 306 filters, we're going to need 2. I can't remember how many it is in the 406 or the 206 or even the 05 series also, but in this one we're going to need 2. So I have those. Set those aside. We're going to need more Amocarb and or, oh hi Sinky. We're going to need Amocarb and or anything you want in your chemical filtration. So I have a little bit left here, a whole new one here. Set these aside. I do have new bags for the Amocarb, but I'll just clean out what I have in this. This is what I use, the media filter bags. This one is a very large one. I meant to get mediums, but kind of messed up, but they still work anyway. If you are rebuilding the top of the filter, the head unit, and cleaning up the gaskets, you're losing my concentration. In order to get your gaskets in great shape again, you want to use silicone grease. Do not use Vaseline. Please, please, please do not use Vaseline. Vaseline expands the rubber, and over time, maybe a month or so, it'll contract and you'll get all sorts of leaks, and the gasket will become complete terribleness. So let's go ahead and open the 306 here. These are your locks. Pop them open, unclip them. And you're going to kind of want to pry or lift from one side or the other. Usually a very easy thing. There we go. So that is the bottom of the head unit there. A little bit dirty. I do have a whole nother video of taking this entire thing apart. If you're interested in it, I will annotate it on the screen here if I know how. Alright, click on that if you want. You got your impeller cover. Siki, go away. So, put that there. Inside of here, we got your impeller. Inside of that, you have your ceramic shaft. Be very, very careful with this because those will break. And that becomes very difficult to fix. This is your priming cover. If you push it to one side or another, you should be able to pop it off of here. There we go. If you're stronger than I am, of course. Ooh, that is filthy. So let's go ahead and start with some hot water. Let those sit in there for a little bit. Alright. So now we can go ahead and start getting all this cleaned up. I forgot my turtle sponge. Hang on. Oh, aha, here it is. Okay. The sponges I use for my tanks are different than all the sponges in the house. Me and the wife found that it's much easier to just use the different colored sponges. So all of our brown sponges are for the turtle tanks. Our pink sponges are for the bathrooms And our blue sponges are for the kitchen. Very easy, so you don't get aquarium waste in your kitchen sink or anything like that, because that's very bad. Alright, so you're going to want to clean everything down, rinse it as good as you can, and I'll fast forward this, be back in a second. Okay, the bottom side of that is much cleaner. Your priming cylinder, if you want to take that out, it's this knob here. It has two clamps on the side here. If you twist it a little bit, it'll pop off. Make sure you don't lose that. The whole thing will push through to the back side. That's where you can grab it and pull it out. This piece here gets quite a bit of debris in this rim back here. Let's make sure I'm still recording. I am. That's awesome. So in this rim, get a lot of terribleness. Make sure that's clean. What I've done with this piece also is taking my silicone grease. I've also greased the outside of this and this cylinder here to make sure it stays in very, very good contact. Alright. And there's still silicone on there, silicone grease, so I don't think I have to do it again right now. Alright. You want to always inspect your gasket, make sure it's in good shape all the way around there. You could even take it off and clean it up or anything like that. But I have that whole tutorial in the rebuild of the head unit. If you want to check that out, it's very good to do, I'd say at least once a year to rebuild this whole thing. But today this one is in good shape. Okay, so we can go ahead and set that aside. I just have a towel on my floor here that I'm going to set all my pieces when I'm done. Oh, and I'm sitting on a foam thing for my knees so I don't completely kill my knees doing this. Okay, this is your main filter basket here. This holds your large foam filters. Okay, that part's clean. Go ahead and set her aside. Now with your big media or your big foam filters like this, go ahead and rinse it thoroughly under hot water, as hot as your hands can bear. Please, by all means, don't burn yourself. Okay, those are all nice and better. The top basket here has your cover. Rinse that. Use a new toothbrush if you need to get into the difficult places to reach here. I would not recommend reusing the toothbrush for personal use, but hey, that's just me. In my top basket here, I have my chemical media and my polishing pads, which are filthy. Throw those away. This is my second chemical filtration bag. This is, ooh, I forgot what it's called. Let me grab it real fast. It is a polymer to remove organic waste. It'll keep your organic waste sticking to these tiny little beads. And you can clean these. There's steps on how to do it, but I replaced them not too long ago, so these are ready to go. I'll just rinse them. My media bag, I'll let that dry out a minute. So my first basket is now empty. Rinse that out. Alright. Kitten. Leave that alone. Out. Okay. Second bag is going to be your biomedia. It looks like it's pretty dirty. With this, do not rinse it with fresh tap water. That will basically wash off your good bacteria that is growing on these stones. So what you want to do, give it a gentle rinse in the water that's already in your filter here. Just a little bit of a rinse, and that's all you want to do. Set that aside. Your third basket is your medium filters. Your medium foam filters. Go ahead and rinse those. Alright. Nice and clean water now comes out of those. That's where you get most of your filth, is sitting in those. So those are very, very good. Keep lovely. Now go ahead and drain the terribleness out of the bottom of your Fluval. Alright. Now that that's nice and clean, double check that the edge is completely smooth and there's no scrapes or cracks or anything around it, because that's where the gasket sits. And if there's anything sitting on there to block it, that's where you will get your leaks. And we don't want any leaks. Perfect. Alright, now we'll go ahead and start rebuilding. Bottom basket, your black filters, downward, so the spiky parts go down, perfect fit. Very bottom, your biomedia, remember do not rinse that, on top of the black filters. Your top tray, going to use your polishing pads that we grabbed before. One there, one there. Make sure those are seated all the way down as nicely as possible. And this is my Purigen on one side, and I will put my Amocarb on the other. So let me open this and put it into my wastebasket here. Again, this is a much bigger media bag than I ever needed. I went to go at least get a medium, or was hoping for a small, and just didn't read it when I bought it. So this is the largest of the large, but I'm only going to fill it with about that much, right there, about that much media to put in to fill this. So not terribly much. Alright. Big. Open the Amocarb with one hand. use the rest of what's in this box and then start with the other one. That's empty. Rinse. I'm going to rinse until it starts running clear. It doesn't have to be completely clear. A lot of people rinse and rinse and rinse and nothing really happens. So, nice easy little knot. Set it into the top tray here. So the water is getting pushed up through the bottom. It'll filter itself through the pad there and then come through the Purigen and the ammo carb here. Set that in the top. Replace our little lid. Oh, we are halfway there. There we go. Alright. Let's do a quick rinse here. Okay, now we're going to replace the large foam media. Making sure it is completely in place, and the corners is a thing to watch for, because sometimes these pads will get jammed sideways, but make sure they're in every single corner, and even the bottoms here, so water doesn't sneak by and not get filtered, because that would defeat the whole purpose of the entire thing. Alright. Now we have the 4 large filters. Go ahead and replace it. Now, let's put... Oh yeah, we need to rinse our head items. So let's start with the ceramic shaft. So remember, very, very fragile. Do not bend at all. It will break. So with that, go ahead and very gently set it back into the hole there. You'll see that there is a little rubber boot all the way into the bottom there. That will hold it. Set that. Rinse the impeller off. The impeller is comprised of 2 things. It is the magnet and the fins. Go ahead and very, very gently scrub between the fins if you want. If not, it'll be pretty okay. Just give it a good rinse. And very gently set that back into your motor on the ceramic shaft. Let's clean off the cover. I commend the people that are sitting with me through this whole video, because even though it is boring and tedious to do, tank cleaning is one of the most important things in order to make sure your fish and turtles keep living. Okay, nice clean cover. Place that. When you click it in, make sure that the impeller or the ceramic shaft goes into the center hole. Don't force it, just nice and easy. Okay, you see the white ceramic shaft in there now. So make sure this is all the way down. This is seated on both sides to make a completely good seal. Some of these covers get a little bit worn and they will actually warp like this and not create a seal on the sides. So make sure that is completely good. I've also had one of these break where the centerpiece comes off, and that is very, very bad because that impeller will just shake in there and it'll eventually break the shaft. So make sure that is always intact and don't force anything because that is fragile. Oh, hi kitten. Alright, here's the cover for our primer. Go ahead and give that a nice little clean. And this, clean the top of it too. This as well has two parts. It's the little boot here that sits on top of that. Then the whole thing snaps back onto the motor. So that's how it should be. Go ahead and kind of hold it in different positions to rinse out the water that is inside of here. Sometimes it can get in there and kind of be a pain. Make sure it's empty. Okay, with the numbers forward, and you can see the writing on the side of the tank here. Go ahead and line it all back up. And this part is very easy, but it's very critical. You want to make sure your gasket slides in between and not binds in between the housing here. With the silicone grease that I can't praise more on the gasket there, it should just slide down as easy as possible. I've had this before where the gasket becomes dry and it binds up in there and it's very, very difficult to close. But since this is already greased, it slides in nicely, everything closes fine, and these lock into the top there. Yeah, so that is it for rebuilding the whole 306 and cleaning. It does leave a lot of terribleness in your tub, but the tub is the easiest place to rinse it and clean it, and it's perfect. Yeah, kitten, stop. I think that's it. If you guys have any comments or questions or anything else, please let me know. And you guys have a good day.